Charles, you're late. I've already been on for 30 seconds. What took you so long? Celine, took you 35 seconds to get in here? What am I, chopped liver? I'm just kidding, guys. What's up? My day was good. I just had some good food out with the fam. I was going to get on earlier, and I was having a funny chat with my weather team I'm a part of, and I couldn't get out of it. It was going too good. Do I have hat hair from wearing this hat all day? I don't feel like wearing my hat. We'll just put it to the side. I do. It's okay. I'll get over it. I feel like being hat-free right now. There's a lot going on, guys. This actually did uptrend. Believe it or not. I thought it was going to downtrend. It's not a crazy uptrend. It's stayed pretty neutral, but let's look at our impasse. There's spicy squall line right there, right through Kansas City. That's spicy, ladies and gents. That is spicy. Let's look at our SIG tour there. Wow. Right there. I forgot it doesn't give me soundings on here. On the impasse. Look at that. It's going to be quick Saturday. And then we're steamrolling through Owensboro. One second, guys. Winter weather advisor. Oops, let me call him back. Oh my gosh. Let me see. One second, guys. One second, guys. What's going on, Feds? Hey, I'm live streaming, but I don't care. Wait, so did you have late fees? Because what happened to me up here is I had like hundreds of dollars of late fees, and then I called them and I was like, I signed up for the pass up here, and my license plate was on it, and you guys weren't charging it as I drove through. And I don't know if that was true or not. I think it was true. And then she was like, okay, we'll just swipe your tolls clean. And then I didn't have to pay like $100 of tolls. I was like, oh, is that easy? So I would give them a call. I would call. Okay. Oh, yeah. One second, guys. But someone just gifted me 2 galaxies while I'm on the phone with you? OJ! OJ, I'm going to tell you exactly what I see. Thank you. Oh my gosh, OJ. Holy crap. It's 1,000 of the TikTok tokens. I'll text you. Wow, OJ. Okay. Anyways, so wait, so what are you trying to do? Yeah. 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 Exactly. Yeah, to go to my job, I'm in traffic for 3 hours a day, and I pay now everyone on stream's hearing this, and I pay $10 every day for parking. So I mean, I'm paying like I feel like $100 a month in gas and parking. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. All right, well, let me get on this live, but yeah, that's something to consider. I'll talk to you about this a little bit later. Oh, dude. Peace. Highway robbery? Yeah, you're telling me about that. Try getting on 95 South between New York City and Philly is crazy. You know, I mean, really, that whole I-95 corridor in the Mid-Atlantic is insane. So let's talk about it. Hey, OJ, where are you at? Jacqueline, I appreciate that. Why is everyone being so nice? I haven't done anything yet. You guys are crazy. Appreciate you guys. Charles Celine, MK, what's going on? Interested to see if this will be a bigger hit than the last storm. So, yeah, OJ, Waterloo, yeah. Okay. All right, give me 1 second. Let's check this out. Did you mean IA, Iowa? Mezzo's in here? Oh, hey, cutie. Everyone say what's up to Mezzo Matt. And throw that mofo a follow if you haven't. He's going to be covering all this live the entire time. He's able to be live a little bit more than me. He's doing it full time. I'm not doing it full time yet. I mean, I'm putting in 40 hours a week on this, but I have another full-time job too. Let's get into the deets. Let's look at our HRRR up in Iowa. That's the name. I'm going blind. Here we go. Let's get into severe. Let's just look at our reflectivity. And let's go up here, OJ. Up to the Midwest. You know, this isn't going to affect Waterloo. This might. So, let's look at a few things here. What's our SIGTOR up here? Although the SIGTOR is not always a great thing to look at because sometimes it won't put some SIGTOR where it should be and it'll put some where it shouldn't be. You guys get a signal up there at around, Saturday night. So that's interesting. But I want to look at a few things. Surface Cape. You guys, there's very interesting cutoff here. Saturday night into the super early hours of Sunday morning is probably going to be your window. It's not looking crazy severe for Waterloo. OJ, I appreciate that. Happy weekend. And what's going on? Kelly, what's going on? OJ the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking crazy. Let's look at our latest from the SPC. Mezzo, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, Matt. They do, yeah. They have Iowa tomorrow in a marginal, and then they have it in a general thunderstorm on Sunday. So that's kind of what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing here. What's our dew points up here? This same time frame. You're barely cracking the 60s. That's a big issue. Yeah, that's a big issue as well. Barely cracking the 60s. You know, there's a possibility you get some severe weather. A tornado isn't too likely up there through Iowa. Not impossible, not very likely. Hail, big, larger than pea to quarter size, not very likely. Your surface cape isn't very well. It wouldn't be your surface cape, but your overall cape just isn't strong enough to produce any sort of. Well, I mean, this is a forecast. You know, models can change, but it's not looking. Let's look at our most unstable cape here. It's not looking super tense. This is good. You can see where the cutoff line is with the worst severe weather. It's kind of southeastern Iowa might get involved. Southeastern Iowa. You're a little bit farther up here. As it stands now, and this is the HRRR, and we're talking almost 20, just under 24 to 30 hours out. So I think you're looking good, man. Sorry if you want severe weather, but you're gonna get thunderstorms. That's for sure. You're going to get thunderstorms really late Saturday into early Sunday morning, and you'll probably get some nice gusty conditions. This wants to bring in a little bit of back-end snow, too, which is interesting on the Euro. Not going to be a ton, but it could be an inch or two if you get lucky with the band. the surface temperatures are going to be really warm though, so I don't expect this really to accumulate much. So that's what's going on there. What's our wind gusts up here in the Midwest? You guys are already gusting pretty decently. But look what happens as we get into the middle of next week. 50, 60 mile per hour gusts through Waterloo. So that's something else to watch. Speaking of that, everyone, we're going to talk about this event happening this weekend. But I can't help but think this is going to be crazy. And it's not just going to be this. It's going to be this, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be this. Next Wednesday through Friday looks insane right now out here. Luckily for everyone who hates severe weather, there's plenty of time for these models to throw some of the instability, off time some of this, some of these conditions, severe weather conditions. So is the top okay? Let me start answering questions. Let me start answering questions from you guys. I did just want to show you what we're talking about with this next week thing. Our jet doesn't look crazy. Our jet doesn't look crazy this weekend. If we end up not having anything, super significant, it's going to be because what is this? Can someone explain to me? What is this? Sorry looking jet. What is that? Sorry looking jet. Let's go to our 850 millibars. Mezzo Matt knows what I'm talking about. Yes, be patient. I'm only one person. I got you, chat. Give me a second. Low level jet for this weekend. Not quite doing it for me. Almost. The angle's perfect. That's the one thing that's going to help. That southwesterly flow is very nice to get that moisture up there. The more moisture you have in the atmosphere, as long as you have that cape, that's going to pull that moisture up into the atmosphere and condense it and release that latent heat and fuel those storms, you're good. So you don't need crazy velocities on your low-level jet, but it helps. The shear helps. But next weekend, shall I say more, guys? Shall I say more about next Wednesday? I'll just leave that there for a second, and then we're getting to chat. Let's do this. Do you see what I'm talking about? I would hate to live in Louisville or Owensboro or in this, you know what I mean? Indianapolis. I'm just kidding, guys. Except for about Owensboro. Terrible to live in Owensboro. If anyone in the chat's in Owensboro next Wednesday, woo! Get out of there. All right, chat. What's going on? Let's go. All right. Yes, let's go. Let's talk. Can we please talk Bowling Green, Kentucky? Sure. We'll zoom in here on some areas. Let's go into our HRRR. High resolution rapid refresh model. Here we go. Sorry, Matt. Here we go. Let's take a look at our reflectivity first. Our SIG-TOR looks a little off. This isn't going to be much. Some rain. Saturday. The areas that don't get as much precipitation out of this are probably going to be more primed for this severe weather. That's going to be moving through Sunday as well. So here we go on Sunday. Now look at this out here in Missouri. Look at this signal. Long track. Significant tornado on this reflectivity on the HRRR. This thing wants to pull from Missouri all the way. You see this, Matt? All the way into southern Illinois. That would be almost a triple state. These things can't really predict where you're. It can't predict exactly where that tornado is going to be and how far it's going to be. But what it's saying is there is a signal for these long track tornadoes. This is when things are going to start to get dicey for you guys. Sunday evening into Kentucky. Bowling Green, let's take a look. I'll just pull the 18Z Euro, and we can see timing for you guys closer to around 9 p.m., give or take a couple hours. These things slow down and speed up.
closer to around 9 p.m. on Sunday, and it still looks pretty nice. We're obviously usually more worried about a discrete cell type of setup. So, that popcorn that we always talk about. So we'll see. I'd much rather you guys be in like a QLCS setup. But, which we have out here in Missouri, southern Illinois, portions of Arkansas. And I think we're going to have that set up down there in Tennessee. Does this thing get its act together and just become a kind of a strong squall line with big hail and strong winds, but maybe not as significant as tornadoes as we get out here? Maybe. But this has been uptrending. And Matt won this because I said this was going to downtrend, but this is uptrending. This is uptrending for this area. So props where it's due. Yep. Southern KC Metro tornado. Yes, everyone, please have a plan in place. Have a way to get alerts on your phones. Yep.
Weather Channel app, AccuWeather, Radar Omega.
You can go down in your notifications on your phone and turn on public alerts if you go all the way to the bottom. So let's look at Kansas City real quick. Let's look at Kansas City timing. This is going to be a much earlier thing. Let's get into Kansas City. There we go. Wow, they have some long tracks down there in Arkansas too. Big long tracks. Actually, I'm looking at Missouri. Sorry. I'm obviously disoriented. Some down here too. All right, timing for you guys around Kansas. We'll see. You could get something. We'll have to watch. I think beginning around 6 p.m. on tomorrow evening. I think this could be ahead of schedule, but we'll see. Where it really looks like it's really going to be firing up, though, is going to be around 10 p.m. Tomorrow, give or take a couple hours for these things change. But you could see some SIGTOR potential down there through Kansas. So take that seriously. That's your timing. I will just pull up the SIGTOR really quickly and take a look. See, it's really weird. I think there should be more of a SIGTOR signal here. It's really quick, but 214 storm relative helicity, 21 knot shear is a little bit low at the surface. There's plenty of surface cape, and there's a little bit of cap here, so you could have this explode as they say, as we get into the evening hours. As we push into the evening hours and the upper atmosphere begins to cool, what happens is that can really help break this cap. So that's the issue as well. This thing pushing in evening into late evening time could give it a little bit more oomph than the timing of this is what's gonna. This is much more of a conditional setup on Saturday for you guys in Kansas City, but the timing of it makes it look like it's gonna. I think this one's gonna overperform, but I could be wrong. But I think this one's gonna overperform. As always, thank you for what you do. Headed to Destin, Florida tomorrow for a week. We good? Let's take a look down there real quick. Sorry, guys. I got to start doing this a little bit quicker. I know there's a lot of people with questions, so let me start trying to rapid fire this a little bit more. I need to get a tissue or something because my allergies are going crazy. Spring. First of all, let's just start here. General Thunder, maybe you get a marginal into Destin on Sunday. Day 4 is our slight. Day 4 is the day you want to watch out. So that's going to be Monday. You are going to have the possibility. It doesn't look crazy severe. This is a messy system out here in the east. But you could get spin-ups all up and down this boundary. The way it looks on here. Let's take a look at a few different things here. I mean, yeah, you're going to have more than enough cape down there in the southeast, of course. Let's see. What are our dew points down there? In the panhandle of Florida? 70 degrees. 72. Large hail. Strong winds. Decent size hail. Strong winds. I don't know if we're going to get a SIGTOR down there around Destin. I don't know if we're going to have SIGTOR potential, but you could, yeah. You're going to want to be alert I mean, timing wise, let me just get you the exact timing. And then Savannah, Georgia. All right. Yeah, this thing looks like it's rolling in Monday afternoon, really. This is a Monday afternoon event as we see it right now. So you're going to have that daytime heating fueling these thunderstorms as well. Yeah. Not bad. Savannah, Georgia. Same thing as Destin. I would say some strong winds and hail are possible. We don't expect any SIG tour, like a mass breakout of SIG tours out here. You could get one or two, but we will have our short range model looking at this tomorrow, our HRRR, and that's going to give us a lot of information about if this is going to uptrend or downtrend out here. Louisville, Kentucky have a way to get weather alerts Sunday evening. Starting Sunday afternoon. You never know. Sometimes these things fire up quicker, move a little quicker than we think. Louisville, yes, you are in a you could go moderate as far north as Louisville. So, guys, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to keep answering questions. 1 second. Chat, I'm back. Sorry. There's some water on my face. Woke myself up. What's going on? Yeah, I went to the bathroom. All right. Listen, chat. Connor, what's happening? Fade. What's going on, Fade? What's going on for New Jersey? I'll talk about that in 1 second. Guys, we're doing rapid fire here. What's happening with our weather pattern? We're seeing significant warmth, then significant cold. Zenith, you just described spring. We're transitioning from winter to spring. Yeah. Normal this time of year. That's what causes severe weather. Opposite air boundaries colliding. And that is what creates upward forcing, which produces these large cloud top severe thunderstorms. Julie, what's going on? Saturday, what's going on? Confused Blonde, what is up? Lee, what is popping? Jim, I appreciate you. Oh my gosh, Jim. Holy crap, Jim. Shout out Jim. Lee, Hannah, what's going on? We don't need it in St. Louis anymore. St. Louis is going to be sketchy again. I'm not going to lie, on Sunday. It'll be a little sketchy. Beginning Sunday afternoon. How is far northwestern Ohio? Far northwestern Ohio, you're in a slight. The worst is expected to remain to your south and west. Not impossible to get some twisty boys up in that region and some hail. Decent winds, especially winds. Your low pressure system is going to be up there off to the north. You could easily have 60 plus mile per hour gusts, not even associated with the thunderstorm, just freaking whipping out there. So I would say don't have an outdoor birthday party. Southwest Indiana, it could go moderate. That's how it is. So 4 out of 5 risk. Southwest Indiana needs to pay attention Sunday evening. I would say all day, Sunday afternoon through. Again, the timing of this stuff can be thrown off. Atlanta, Georgia is going to be interesting. These storms, The timing of these storms moving in Monday morning, they're going to be heating up as that sun comes up, and you could get some surprise thunderstorms through Georgia up through Charlotte. We'll see. All right, sorry, that's going to be Monday morning. Did I say Sunday morning? Monday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. One second. Let me take a sip of this. Central Texas, you guys are in a marginal. Most of this, let's take a look at our day 3, and let's compare it to like our HRRR, what we're seeing on here. Do I think the risk zone is set up correctly? Not that what I say matters compared to the SPC, but I have an opinion. Just looking at the reflectivity, it does look like they have that risk zone set up correctly. Not seeing much out here. We can kind of see when we go into our dew points where this dry line is going to be. I mean, look at this. You can see this pushing down right up here. We're going to have the worst out here. So I think it's correct. I mean, look at as we get into Sunday evening. Look at these dew points beginning to spark up here. This is all Dallas-Fort Worth south and then out to the east. So this is kind of where their risk zone is, right there. Northern Kentucky. If you're like, there's a reason you guys. I mean, you you guys are in an enhanced right now. Marginal. Let's take a look. What do we think is going to go marginal? I mean, what do we think is going to go moderate, guys? What do we think is going to go moderate? Thank God it's Friday. What up, Julie? What is going to go? Let me take a look at this. 1 second, guys. Let's take a look at some of this Cape. Dew points are already overperforming for tomorrow's setup. They're very well ahead of models. Really nice. Okay, let me actually look at that. Let's take a look in Kentucky. What are your dews right now? 50? What was the projected? We're seeing dews out here. We're seeing dews high 50s out here. Yeah, high 50s out here. 60s already. Interesting. Oh, for Saturday, not Sunday? Yeah, I these dew points are decent right now, but they're not I don't know what was being projected here. You have some dew points down here, 63, 64 down in this region. And these are going to increase as we push into tomorrow. These are going up. These dew points are going to go up tomorrow, not down. So that'll be fun. Yeah, Matt, I think tomorrow's going to be an overperformance. I'm not completely sold on Sunday, but I think tomorrow. What do you think? What's the famous mezzo Matt think? I know you think Sunday's going to be good too. Do you think Northeast Ohio gets enhanced? I don't think Northeast Ohio gets enhanced. No. Most models were showing the high 50s till the morning. Yeah, we have some dew points down there, 63, 64. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. It's already looking like an overperformer. Caleb, I appreciate that. What's going on, Shane? Bowling Green, Kentucky, have a plan for Sunday evening. There's going to be some bad weather pushing through. It's it's another area that we'll see if you get put in a moderate, but Watch this. Watch this. What the CFS is showing for April 10th. Okay, it's our experimental model, but what are we seeing? A blizzard? Hobby trucker won't fit in our garage, so that's not good. Oof. What's the CFS show for the 10th? Mid Atlantic snow. Ooh. Yeah, CFS is on crack. Yeah, it's showing New York City snow on the 17th of April as well. And maybe on the 22nd of April. Mezzo, 2-month subscriber. I think I'm still a sub to you too. Appreciate you, brother. Colorado, 4-5, April 5th snowstorm. You guys do have a couple. You know, we're talking about that severe weather next week. That's going to be moving over the Rockies first. Probably a snow. Here it is. Yeah, I mean, we still see this. Good snow out here in the Rockies. Kind of a few systems. You've got 1, weak, 2, pretty good. And we'll see if there's a third in there. This is pivotal weather. 850 millibar temp anomaly. Zenith, are you the one who always asks me for that? We can look at it. 850 temp anomaly. Yeah, we're still seeing this massive burst of cool air down there at the 850 millibar level. Moving into the second week of April. Caleb, I appreciate that. Plano, Illinois. Plano, Illinois. Let me pull up the NAM. 00Z. God, this 500 millibar jet isn't doing it for me. Oh, this looks much nicer though. This low level jet on the NAM on the 00Z. Whoa, what happened there? Hello. Plano, Illinois. 1 second. Sorry, Illinois. So Chicago. It's a little bit out of Chicago. I'll give you that. Looks like it's right outside of the Chicago metro. Let's take a look at our sheesh Mezzo Matt. Oh my gosh. Shout out Matt. Oh my lord. Shane, I appreciate you. Appreciate that, Matt. One of these days the CFS is gonna show us snow in July, probably. Go off, Matt. What'd you rob a bank? Yeah, so Plano, Illinois. Let's get into here. Severe. Let's take a look. Let me go into my HRRR. And let's just look down here at our reflectivity. So here's some interesting timing for you guys. This is Sunday around 9 a.m., give or take a couple hours. This could produce, just based off the reflectivity in EF1 or EF0, your winds aren't moving in. You want one of these kind of, you want these storms moving off to the northeast, and they have that inflow from the south and that moisture being pulled up from the south and east to get these big tornadoes in the States. So you've kind of got a little squall moving over that could, some strong thunderstorms Sunday morning. And then we'll see, the worst of the severe weather, the SIG Tor type of severe weather, looks to be central Illinois and south. That could change, but you are in a slight up there, not in the enhanced, and I think they're right about that. I think your slight has more to do with, we can go to probabilistic here. Yeah, I think your slight has more to do with hail and wind than tornado potential right now in Plano. What about Kansas City tomorrow night into Sunday morning? Yeah, we talked about that, Sarah. What's going up? What's going on, Sarah? What's going up? I'm having trouble speaking tonight, guys. yeah, Kansas City could see Eastern Kansas could see an overperformance. Right now, it looks like our SIG tours want to stay to the south of Kansas City, but you guys need to have a way to get weather alerts Saturday night. Probably going to be a late Saturday night thing into early Sunday morning, but there are some interesting looking reflectivity, SIG tour params, surface cape, dew point things going on. Like Matt just said, you're already overdoing it on the dew points. You're already ahead of schedule. So no joke there in Kansas City tomorrow night and into Sunday morning. You should be fine, but have a way to get weather alerts. West and a tiny bit south of Chicago. Oh, yeah. Plano. Detroit. You guys are in this risk zone, aren't you? Oh, my God, what'd I do? Yeah, you guys are in that slate. Again, is it possible to get tornadoes up in Detroit? Yes. If you're going to get them, they're probably going to be EF0, EF1 max. I think you're looking at more of a hail and strong wind aspect. I think that's kind of what your risk zone is telling you. We'll see. I'm not saying you can't get decent tornadoes up there to the north, but I think we're going to be seeing. I think we're really going to be watching this region in here. As far as SIG tours, I would say. Specifically, actually, if I had to outline it better, right there. Does this go moderate? This is going to go hatch. All right. Again, we could see the enhanced spread out, though. You can't just focus on what's moderate or what's hatch. You got to focus on the whole region. Tornadoes happen in areas where we're not expecting them a lot. So, hatched, what it means, for whoever asked, a lot of people don't really know what it means, so I'll explain it. Look at our Sunday. They call it hatched because it's like the hatched marks. See it? See they're like this on there. That means not only is this 30% risk outlook of severe weather in this region, but it could be significant severe weather. If it's hatched, it's not just a 30% chance of seeing severe weather, it's a 30% chance of seeing severe. A lot of this is, we're probably going to we have a hatch risk tomorrow for hail. Usually what this means, you could see 2-3 inch plus hail in that hatched area. You could see hail out here, but it's probably going to be more normal size hail. Hatched but this whole region what they're saying is this whole region right here has that slight chance, 2 out of 5 chance of severe weather, but that 2 out of 5 chance here looks more severe. If you do get it. Tornado is still just at 2%. When you get a hatch risk on tornado, that's again EF2 plus typically. SIG tours. Significant tornadoes. How's Central Iowa looking for Saturday's system? I'm worried about southeastern Iowa the most. I want to say worried, but that's the area where the severe weather is going to be focusing. So let's get in there. Let's dive in here again. For all my Iowans, I didn't know anyone lived in Iowa until I started doing this. There's so many people who live in Iowa. All 10 of you need to be careful for this. I'm just kidding, guys. There's going to be a little bit more stability up here to the north. I know that sounds silly with this big blob of moisture, but the instability comes with rapidly changing pressure and temperatures, which is going to be down here. This is going to be a cooler setup temperature-wise. So, watching this region down here for sure in Iowa. Timing-wise, early hours Sunday morning. They do have you in a marginal Sunday. I don't know. They might extend. I think they might extend this slide out a little bit farther into Iowa. Honestly, they might. They might. Thoughts on Southwest Indiana SIG Tour potential? You'll have SIG Tour potential. Will you have a SIG Tour? I don't know. There will be ingredients in place for a SIG Tour in Southwest Indiana. So the right things need to happen with those ingredients, but the ingredients will be there. So definitely stay alert on there. And mess with the 53 roses. I got to hop in Mezzo's stream later. I don't know if you're still in it here, Matt, but if you are, let us know what time you're going live. I think he's going to be live around. I think he's going to be live in like an hour. Something like that. The reflect titty looks scary, I can't lie. Yeah. MK, I appreciate that. Yeah, Fade. New York City, New Jersey. New York City, New Jersey, that region. I forgot, Fade. And that is my bad. Let me know if you're still in here. 11 Central Time? Okay, so about an hour. Fade. This slight region went way north. A couple days ago, it was looking like this. They threw this way north because, well, for a few reasons. Let's go to our European here. And let's look at our... Let's look at our jet as this thing pushes off Monday. Decent mid-level jet pushing off the coast there. Decent low-level jet pushing off the coast there. Pretty good velocities. The one thing that stood out to me here is our dew points stretching up the coast here. Look at that. We're getting 60s into New York City. Mid-50s all the way up there into Boston. So, with the jet stream like that, with some decent dew points, you're going to have a little bit of Cape. The Cape's going to be a little bit of a struggle for out here, but let's look at our most unstable Cape out there near the coast. It's there. So, yeah, I mean, severe weather potential all up and down the Eastern Seaboard. You could get tornadoes up here. I don't think we're going to get a SIG Tour up here. EF0, EF1's possible. SIG Tour is not out of the question, but EF1, EF0 more likely. Yeah. This is a more severe setup for at least the Northeast than we've seen yet this year. But I think next Wednesday into Thursday, next Wednesday and Thursday is going to be wild. Potentially, not just for the Central Plains, but for New Jersey, New York City, Long Island. Well, next, let's talk like Wednesday to Friday. There's going to be, the pattern looks crazy. So it looks more intense than this weekend setup. So that's probably going to be your guys' storm to prepare for, to watch out for. Keep updated. What's the chance of tornadoes for Mobile, Alabama? Wind and hail's a bigger threat for you guys. We'll have to see. Let's go to our day. Let's go to our day 3. You've got a marginal. You got a marginal day 3. You're in a 30% risk. Monday. This is gonna be early Monday into Monday afternoon. We could see some spin ups down here. Down there in Mobile, Alabama. Again, I don't know if I'm expecting any SIG tours down there in Mobile, Alabama on Monday. I say hail and wind is going to be an issue for some areas in and around Mobile, Alabama, Monday morning into Monday afternoon. Yali, what's poppin'? I appreciate you. Why am I yelling? How's Northern Kentucky looking for this weekend? No problem, Fade. Northern Kentucky's looking like you want to have weather alerts on Sunday evening. You guys are already in enhanced. You could go moderate. We'll see. I think Western Kentucky may go moderate, but Time will tell with that. Like I said, the Jets looking a little weak. Northeast Florida, wind and hail, maybe an EF0, EF1's possible in that area. Not looking the most impressive, but severe weather is a definite possibility Monday afternoon into Monday evening. Southwest Indiana, possibly moderate. Yes, Casey. Southwest Indiana could be in that moderate area. Clarksville, Tennessee. I always get Clarksville confused with something else. Right up there. Yeah, Clarksville's an area that could go moderate. If we get a moderate, guys. If we get a moderate, that's an area that could go moderate. Sunday evening into Sunday night. Clarksville could be. Clarksville's probably going to be in that SIG-TOR potential. Yeah. Why did I just get so tired, guys? Where's all my energy? Do I need to drink a Red Bull? I don't want to drink a Red Bull this late. Should I? Man, I don't know why I just got so tired. Colorado looks like it's gonna have some good snowstorms over the next 10 days. That's what I'll say. What you drinking tonight? Just some apple juice, you know. Just some apple juice. Can we see the Midwest for next Wednesday? Yeah. You can. I told apple juice. Yep. Okay, so here's what's looking impressive about next Wednesday. Our jet is jetting, like I like, and we're seeing low trough ejection, big discrete into a big QLCS setup, right? And then wait, what's this? Another surface low? Boom, another ejection. Then boom, another one, and then boom, another one, and then boom, another one, and then boom, another one. What is happening next week, guys? Now that Wednesday through Friday though looks wild. We'll see what happens after that. But this time frame right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that looks crazy right now on the future radar. Our Cape is absolutely exploding up there. I mean, you've got almost 1,500 joules per kilogram in northern Michigan of Cape. So 3,000 joules per kilogram up there in western Kentucky. Some insane looks here. And then up in the you've got again a 1,000 to 2,000 Cape up there pushing into the northeast. That a lot of this has to do with what our with our jet, where our jet's pushing in from. So low level jet, mid level jet. Our dew points are absolutely exploding up there. You're going to get dew points in the 60s in northern Michigan potentially, and up into Boston. Potentially. This has time to change. So, but yeah, it looks pretty crazy. You're seeing 70 dew points in Nashville. So, yeah. The problem is that it looks like there's going to be a lot of like training moisture. So somewhere's going to see. I think flash flooding is going to be an issue next week too, a serious issue. Can you talk about the threat for Sunday in places like Muncie, Indiana, and finally Ohio? Muncie. Let's see here. Yeah, you know, let me get back to you guys. Sorry, Are you guys in this enhanced right now? You guys are in that enhanced up in Indiana.
I don't know if we're going to have anything that impressive that far north, but we might. Um, let's take a look at this a little closer. Let's take a look at this a little bit closer. There, I mean, the new HRRR sees SIGTOR potential all the way through this region here. So, can't count it out. I feel like this is going to shift south, but this is a short range model, and this is under 40 hours out. So, yeah, timing of probably the worst of the worst weather that's going to begin to move through looks to be around 20Z on Sunday around 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. Because this is going to be 8 minus 6. 20. It's 8 p.m. Take 6 hours off for the HRRR. 2 in the afternoon. Things could get sketchy up there. Ohio, it's going to start to fall apart a little bit. Not necessarily. This of course this isn't perfect, but the HRRR likes a few long track SIG tours through portions of central to southern Illinois, and maybe even northern to southern Indiana. I think, if you were to ask me, I think this stuff stays farther south, but there's going to be potential up here. So get ready and pay attention on Sunday. It's really hard to get hit by a tornado, guys. It's like extremely hard. It's extremely hard to even see a tornado in your lifetime. So no one should ever get scared. But you should have a way to get alerts. It's really hard to see a tornado. Even if you're in a high risk hatched, it's hard to see one. I saw one 2 weeks ago. Well, lucky you. I've seen water spouts. And I've been in a tornado that was in a hurricane, but I didn't see it. I was in the house. Tore up some stuff. It was like an EF1. Tore up some stuff around our house. I was planning on chasing in Arkansas, but I think it's just going to turn into a classic nocturnal QLCS. You think so? Do you think so? Let's see. Arkansas. I see as we get into Sunday night, it might. If this thing is starting to consolidate into a QLCS, as it starts to push into Eastern Arkansas, Western Tennessee, Western Kentucky, Eastern Illinois, into Central Indiana, when does this thing consolidate is a big question, because we'll see our risk drop down a little bit. What is going on? We got some flash flood warnings. Northern Michigan. Northern Michigan, lots of flash rainfall warnings. Rainfall warnings. I never see these. I guess I just don't pay attention to them. Expecting heavy rainfall. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at my radar Omega. Bad idea to fly out of Nashville Sunday? No, it's not a bad idea, because if the weather's too bad, they're not going to take off. Bad idea to book a flight out of Nashville Sunday? Yeah, because there'll probably be massive delays. Unless you get out Sunday morning, early Sunday, or Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon should be fine. It's as we push past the 4 p.m. mark, I think there's going to start being delays. Cancellations. Nashville. NTX, thank God it's Friday. Mother 3, what's going on? I appreciate you. Help Connor out with I appreciate you, MK. You saw your first tornado almost 60 years ago? How's that possible?
You're only like 24, right? I'm just kidding. um, my second was shortly after that. Oof. Austin said you make no sense. Good to hear it. Appreciate the follows, guys. Appreciate the subs. My son is supposed to be driving from Daytona, Ohio to, is that Peach Beach? Orange Beach? Alabama? Early Sunday morning. Depends how long that drive takes, but he's probably going to be driving through some severe weather. You know? Yeah, there's going to be severe weather moving through that drive Sunday late probably. Good to watch water spouts on Lake Erie tomorrow or Sunday. It's possible. It's possible on Erie. Yes, it's possible on Erie. Nashville, Tennessee on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday night. I think most of the SIG Tour potential dies down before you get into Nashville, but we could still see some strong tornado potential. We've got you, they've got you right now in an enhanced. I think moderate would probably be out to your west. I'm thinking Nashville is going to see more of a strong QLCS, a really strong squall line move through than this big, dangerous, discrete cell outbreak, but or like a supercell outbreak, but let's see. Let me go into the NAM and see how this sets up. Yeah. Let's go to our reflectivity. It starts to look a lot less threatening once we get out into central Tennessee, central Kentucky, into Ohio, once we start moving into central Mississippi. But we'll have to see. I don't want to downplay any of those areas because a little shift could change all of that. So take the risk zone seriously. That's posted by the SBC. I knew you're 24. Northwest Georgia Monday morning. Hail, strong winds, weak tornadoes are possible. I wouldn't discount a SIG Tour possibility. It's not that high, but pay attention Monday morning, have weather alerts on. This is our risk zone. You can look it up on NOAA, NOAA, National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration.gov. You can look at storm prediction. You just type in Storm Prediction Center risk zone on Google, and you'll find it. This is our day 3. So this is a 1 out of 5. This is a general thunderstorm, not a 0 out of 5. General thunderstorm. This is a 1 out of 5 risk. This is a 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. This is a 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather, and we might see a 4 out of 5 pop into the middle here. But this zone could expand. So if you're anywhere in this area, your chance for severe weather is elevated. Moderate day 2. You think a moderate day 2? You think they're going to jump from a slight to a moderate, Matt? Maybe maybe 12 hours out. I mean, we're maybe the way it's looking, I think enhanced is almost a guarantee, right, Matt? No, like the new day 2. I was going to say, I think this is going to go enhanced. You probably agree with me there. Okay, do you know what I think, Matt? I think it is going to go moderate. I don't think it's going to go moderate because I think it should be moderate. I think it's going to go moderate because we've seen these risk zones. I think maybe give they've been given a little more than maybe they should be. We talked about this earlier. I think they're going to go moderate out of an abundance of caution. I don't know if they should, but I think they probably will. IDGAF about Matt. Tell me Saturday. Saturday. There you go. What is bro saying? He's speaking sushi. Rain amounts for the weekend. You guys want to look at quantitative precipitation real quick? Who's getting dumped on? Listen, some people wake up on the wrong side of the bed sometimes, guys. Right now, who's the big winner on rainfall? You guys right here. Starting down really Cincy through Louisville, Owensboro, Western Kentucky, Western Tennessee, down right through central Arkansas, including Little Rock. That looks like the big winner right now, at least on the Euro, for rainfall. I mean, we're seeing Louisville to Owensboro, 5 to 8 inch potentials on the high end, but potentials. Western Tennessee around there as well. We'll see what happens around Little Rock, Central Arkansas. But, yeah. I'm really concerned about the rainfall in that exact same region the week after. Look at this. Guys, look at this. Louisville, a foot. Owensboro, 15 inches. This is over a span of like 5 to 6 days. But Little Rock, good 13 inches of rainfall. Yeah, this is catastrophic rainfall right there. So that's something we'll watch too. That is flood emergency rainfall potential. Mr. Connor, excuse me, what's Saturday? Oh, okay. Saturday, now that you asked like that, Saturday is, well, let's quickly. What we're watching on Saturday is this region. This region right through here for some tornado and large hail. So, northwestern Arkansas, western Missouri, eastern Kansas, central to northeastern Oklahoma. Timing, late Saturday. I would really start paying attention Saturday evening. Maybe even late Saturday afternoon. Other than that, yeah, mixing snow and ice up here in the north. Sunday, yep, Sunday is out here. This is our Sunday. Is there anyone in chat who lives here? Say me. I just want to know. Okay, so like everyone. Okay, just I figured those were probably more of the people who were in this stream. Okay, that makes sense. You guys are all screwed. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys. You guys are not screwed. This is nowhere near as bad as that event that happened a couple weekends ago. Well, shit. Yeah. Nowhere. Yeah. No, you guys are fine. Keep weather alerts on Sunday. That's all. But you guys should be fine. We've seen bigger severe weather outbreaks than this already this season. So, but you want to be aware because in the very, very, very small chance you are in the path of something destructive, you just want to be aware of that. You'll be safe. Very small chance. You almost gave me a heart attack. How's Tulsa looking for storms? Tulsa again. That's Tulsa, right, guys? I'm not on crack. Tulsa again Saturday evening into late Saturday. Pay attention. Not impossible to get a SIG tour down there. It's a conditional type of setup, but I think it's gonna. I don't know. I think Saturday night's gonna overperform. I can't guarantee that, but that's just my opinion. It's not going to be a big outbreak. It's not going to be an outbreak at all. I don't expect it to be a ton of tornadoes that touch the ground Saturday night. I expect a few, and I think there's a possibility one or two is a Sigtor, which would be an overperformance for that. Overperform means, right now, this is a slight risk, 2 out of 5 risk. Our tornado is only a 2%. I think we're going to have a more severe day than what's being forecast by the SPC. Sometimes you overperform the risk. It's not their fault. The SPC is trying to give us the best representation of what they think could happen. Sometimes you overperform what they think is going to happen, which means it's more severe. And sometimes you underperform, which means it's not as severe. This setup, to me, has the potential to highly or decently overperform what they're expecting, tornado hit and hail wise. Although they do have a hatch risk for hail, so they already are expecting some big hail potential through this region right there, especially. I'm scared, Mr. Connor. Where you live or where you live? I'm out in the Mid Atlantic, so yeah. Are you guys kidding me? I would never live in like the Ohio Valley, Central Plains, Deep South. It's way too dangerous. You guys are crazy. I'm just kidding. Nah, that's crazy. I would never do that. I choose life, guys. Come on. I'm just messing with you guys. Definitely a little bit more stressful, these states out here, huh? What do they call it? Weather anxiety? This is where you go to live for weather anxiety. We don't have much weather anxiety out here. Not much weather anxiety. You know what I mean? Very bad. Man, I'm trying my best to be funny, love. Bring back the snow, Connor. I wish. Yeah, Tornado Alley. Tornado Alley. Right here. Dixie Alley. Hoosier Alley. Carolina Alley. Sounded like I said Hoosier Daddy. Driving Green Bay to Minneapolis tomorrow. It's going to be stormy. It's going to be... I would do it earlier than later. But you'll be fine. Nashville, the timing for this. The timing of the potential worst weather moving through Nashville right now. That's looking like it's around midnight, give or take a couple hours. Sunday. So super late Sunday, super early Monday. Strong, a big hail, strong winds, potentially SIG tornado possibility through Nashville. Pay attention. Be weather alert. God, I wanted to do a couple hours tonight. And I'm just like... God, did someone put something in my drink? I swear to God. My brain is telling me to go to bed. Is it true if we have storms? It's just my son exhausts me. Is it true if we have storms in the morning, it won't be strong later the day? Kind of, yes, Christian Bear. If you get a bunch of rainfall, even light rainfall, earlier in the morning when you're expecting severe weather later in the day, what that is going to do is help to equalize the temperature in your different layers of the atmosphere, your lower, mid, and upper atmosphere. That rain is going to cool the air, starting from the mid layer, typically where it's falling, down to the surface, and it's typically going to give you a more stable atmosphere. What causes an unstable atmosphere is when you have warm air at the surface and cold air aloft. Because warm air wants to rise and cold air wants to sink, and that friction is dangerous. But when it rains in the morning, sometimes you're not expecting rain in the morning out ahead of these severe systems, but then you'll get some. And suddenly, now you're not super cold up in the atmosphere, up above your head, and super warm on the surface. Now you're pretty cool all the way from the floor to the ceiling, and then boom, your cape is gone. So that's a good thing if that happens. And that's happened a few times this year already with some of our severe outbreaks. Some of the areas, I forget when it was. It was a couple weeks ago. It happened out here. It was like out here in Eastern Tennessee or something where we thought we had SIG-TOR potential, and there was a big, huge pocket of just average rainfall that moved through a few hours before it, and it just cooled off that air, and then we didn't really have much potential severe, or we didn't really have any severe weather out there. I need to know, do you think New Jersey will get bad tornadoes or storm? New Jersey has tornado ingredients on Monday, but it doesn't mean you're going to get a tornado. You still need a little bit of luck with the helicity down at the surface and a lot of different things. The atmosphere is extremely complicated, and you can have all the ingredients and not get a tornado, but you will have the ingredients for rotation and strong storms up there in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Portions of the southern Northeast and Mid-Atlantic on Monday, so something to watch out for. If you do get tornadoes, they're probably not going to be more than an EF0, EF1, but we'll see. Local farmers in Rochester, New York saying ice storm next week. Yeah, I mean, the Euro doesn't agree. The Euro doesn't agree. The Euro keeps that ice storm way to the north. I wonder if they're looking at this. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're seeing. I'm not sure what model they're using to see an ice storm through Rochester, New York. I know where that is, right here. I have family there. I do. Honey Oak Falls. Worst weather for northeastern Illinois. It's possible to get a SIG-TOR in northeastern Illinois. It's just much less likely than central to southern Illinois. So if you, like, worst case scenario, some of this bad weather shifts a little north overnight, and we start to see this thing trend north, it's possible to get a SIG-TOR still up there near Chicago. It's just, we'd have to see a big shift north. Why are we shouting? Why are we shouting free love? Did love get banned by one of my mods? Can you show us some SIG-TOR parameters and soundings? Sure. This is pivotal weather that I'm using right now. Sure. Let's go to our dam. Let's look at some SIG-TOR params. Florida, the effects from this in Florida is going to be Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Yeah, let's look at some SIG-TOR params. Why don't we? Here we go. Saturday, not bad here. Around Tulsa, and in Kansas, eastern Kansas. This is our Saturday. You know, not a terrible looking photograph. Not super impressive either. The shear, the directional shear isn't there really, but the speed shear is. The velocity shear is there. So that's still pretty impressive to me. You've got what looks to be one of those loaded gun type cap days where this thing is probably going to snap and you could have an explosion. An explosion of cape. What's my timing here that I'm at? This is very early in the morning Sunday. I think this timing is a little weird, but supercell composite near 30, which is ridiculous. Effective layer SIG-TOR parameter around 7.0. You see you have a little bit of inhibition down here in the corner. This is our cap. This is our capping. 2200 cape at the surface. This is a decent looking sounding in eastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. And then that pushes up through St. Louis, where there's much better directional shear, especially down at the surface up to the 700 millibar layer, 1850 layer. This is crazy. This is crazy. That's actually crazy directional shear at the low level. And so that's giving you a decent helicity reading down there. 0 to 1 kilometer. SIG-TOR potential there with the effective layer. Again, a little, it's capped, but this can, you know, as we get heating, as the hours go by, this thing could snap, and that just causes potentially more severe weather, or worse severe weather. Let's push off into the east. This is some insane looking southern Illinois. 3,000 joules per kilogram at the surface. Again, this is worrisome right here. This is worrisome. Let me look at our timing here. So, okay, so this is our 6 p.m. Sunday. As this pushes into the evening hours and that upper atmosphere begins to cool, this is going to break. And then this cape's going to explode. Has the potential to. Not gonna. The other thing that's impressive about this is the directional shear from the surface to the 500 millibar. It's almost, you know, perpendicular. A pretty decent looking photograph as well. And fixed SIG-TOR param at around 6.0. Wind direction's beautiful. Sketchy. A little sketchy down there in southern Illinois. Around 6 p.m. And then down here, southeastern Arkansas as well. Things get sketchy for you guys as well as we get into Monday morning. Wow. So, yeah. There's potential here. There's potential here, even though we have a weak jet. It's not weak, but it could be stronger. Really quick, just to show you guys out east, we do still have SIG-TOR pushing out east. So, you want to show it around Atlanta. This is around Atlanta, Monday morning, 2.0 effective layer SIG-TOR param. Okay looking photograph. 2,000 surface cape, 2,000 joules per kilogram surface cape, 220 SRH helicity. That's more than enough. 37 knot shear at the surface. That's good. So, Atlanta, we'll see. This thing gets very messy down here, and we might get some moisture out ahead of these cells. So that would cause an underperformance in Georgia and the Carolinas and stuff like that, up and down the eastern seaboard out here, if that happens. All right, we went through that. Northwest Arkansas. Yeah, we talked about this. This is a Saturday night thing to watch out for. If you don't get that bad weather Saturday night, you're probably going to be okay. Sunday, this is going to move off to your east. Saturday night into Sunday early morning. I'm talking Saturday around like 9 p.m. into Sunday around 3 a.m. Somewhere in there, you're going to have some potential for some bad weather, and you're going to want to pay attention to that. Have a way to get weather alerts. You think Chicago gets enhanced for April 2nd, Wednesday? Yeah, you guys might. I'm telling you, that Wednesday system looks crazy. Right there? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Or here. Maybe. No problem, Katie. Oh, yeah, for that day 5. Here, day 6. This day 6. This is probably going to get bigger just because of how crazy it looks. But yeah, that'll expand. We'll see if Chicago gets an enhanced next week. It's possible. Although I think this might shift east, but we'll see. It's supposed to be stormy in the morning for Lake St. Louis. What do you think the rest will look like? So, tomorrow morning, around St. Louis, yeah, I mean, stormy, not severe. Your severe potential is going to be Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. That's when we're watching the severe potential for anywhere around St. Louis there. I got a flight out of Atlanta on Monday at 6 a.m. Hashtag prayers in the chat. Hashtag prayers in the chat for that guy. I'm just kidding. The timing's not great. The timing's not great. They're not going to take off if it's dangerous, but delays, cancellations, Hashtag prayers. Thanks, guys. Delays, cancellations seem like a possibility there. I want to say probability. That's your timing. In and around 6 a.m., where we could see some bad severe weather moving over Atlanta. Could. We will see severe weather moving into Georgia. Do we see worse thunderstorms to the south or north of Atlanta? We'll see. St. Louis, early afternoon Sunday. St. Louis is going to be before a lot of these areas. It's going to be kind of around where it ignites. So you can see the worst of it looks to be moving through St. Louis. We're out on Wednesday. Let's move back here. The worst of it looks to be moving into St. Louis. God, this stuff wants to form out to the east. We'll see when this stuff begins to spark up here, but let me go to my HRRR for St. Louis. Because I think these initial thunderstorms aren't going to be severe. I think this is what we're watching here. So, yeah, Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. We could see initiation from a lot of these thunderstorms just out to your south and east, or just to your east in St. Louis. You guys may dodge a bullet. You may not. But it's close. A lot of these storms want to initiate just to your south and east. It could initiate just to your west, though, which would be more of an issue. What about the big red spot in top middle Tennessee on Sunday? Is that not impressive? I'm not sure what we were looking at there. It was probably before. Is the severe potential for Houston in the morning or in the evening Sunday? You don't have that much severe potential for Houston. Let's go to our day 3. Slight marginal. We can take a look at the NAM. We can take a look. Let's see. Let's see your timing, Houston. The NAM's not putting anything down through Houston. I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if I trust it. You know, you could have the possibility of seeing some severe weather down there as early as Sunday evening around 6 p.m. all the way through until about Monday morning around 6 a.m. Because you're going to have storms firing up here, and then you're going to have a squall line consolidate that's going to move just to your northeast. So a lot of this, though, there's a reason you're just in a marginal, because a lot of this looks to stay out to your north and east. When will North Georgia see this start? Very early in the morning. Possibly as early as 4 a.m. on Monday. Possibly as early as 4 a.m. It is. It is a good app, Constance. Constance, did I say that right? So is AccuWeather. Oh, for the SIG tours? I think I was showing that on my... NAM. I mean, yeah. I mean, we've got some decent SIG tour potential there in Tennessee. This isn't bad. This would be 9 p.m., give or take a couple hours. Give or take an hour. Possible hazard, tornado 4.0. Effective layer, SIG tour potential. 2400 surface cape, pretty good. 284 helicity down at the surface, very good. 28 knot surface shear, pretty good. So, pretty good setup in Western Tennessee. Not terrible as we get out towards Nashville either. Not terrible. This little loop-de-loop. Not terrible. Cape's all right. Directional shear's pretty good. Helicity's good. Surface shear is good. So, not terrible out towards Nashville either. This is closer to 3 a.m. on Monday. This exact signature there. That sounding. But I think you're going to get severe weather before then. Or 3 a.m. on Monday. Is that what I said? I need to take a little bit of a rest, guys. I think you mean inaccurate, Tyler. Sometimes it is. Chicago doesn't get any storms on 00ZHR run. Yeah, Chicago's going to be hit or miss for both of these. Guys, I am going to be posting a whole nother update. I just posted an update on all this today on my TikTok and YouTube and everything. And I'm going to be posting another update tomorrow. My goal is to go live. Let me think about this. Somewhere around 11 or 12 for an hour tomorrow. Well, I really want to give you guys a time, but my wife's I'm gonna be watching my son. My wife's gonna be out at brunch. Man, I'm going live tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, and I'm posting an update video. So I'll probably post a video super early in the morning. I might post a video like 10 a.m. tomorrow with updates on this stuff, going over each Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and which areas need to be concerned about what. If you really want the details, we'll break it down. Central Indiana has a chance for SIG tornadoes Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. Well, let's look at our timing based on our SIG tour. Especially Sunday evening, Sunday night. Seriously. Pay attention. Be weather alert there. Guys, I'm going to get off. Posting another video tomorrow. I'm going to try to go live 2 times tomorrow. I appreciate you. Anyone who followed, anyone who subbed, anyone who gifted, anyone who just asked questions who was in here. I appreciate you guys. I do. Everyone have a great night. Have a great Friday night. Have a great weekend if I don't see you again, but I will be back on tomorrow, and I'll be posting again tomorrow. All right? Houston looks pretty in the clear, yeah. We'll see, though. You're still in a marginal. We'll watch. Sometimes you get some tailing severe thunderstorms down there. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. All of you. Have a good night. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm sorry I couldn't answer everyone's questions. I never can, but I appreciate you guys.